guys!
Hey.
So today I'm going to ask Chris his experiences in India, the most weirdest experiences he had. So let's hear it from him.
I wouldn't say super weird, but they're just so different in terms of like the cultural differences. So one of the things that I always think about is being in one of the shoe stores. So we go in there and we find some nice sandals and I'm like, oh yeah, do you have them in my size? And they're like, hang on, we'll just check. Yeah. Now normally here, there's like a back room. You go in the back and there they have all their sandals or shoes or whatever, and then you bring them out and then you try them on. But in this place there was just some random square hole in the ceiling, and then the guys just shouting like, can we have these size of this sandal? This box just flies down from the ceiling and he's just like, what the hell is happening? Like, here, you couldn't do that. Like, that would just be like to get hit by a shoebox.
That's how we are. That's how it is for you.
So there's obviously the driving. So I've just seen people who just, especially in Pune, where there's just a bunch of traffic and people on scooters are just like, no, I ain't got time for it. They'll just drive onto the sidewalks, the paths. People are walking there and they're just like, no, absolutely not. And there's so many of them do it and no one cares. No one's like looking like, what? No. They're just like, this is normal.
Yeah.
And
I was losing it because we weren't even moving ahead. We were just stuck in one place.
It was fine. It was very similar to London. This is in a taxi and the guy who was driving just suddenly just goes on his phone, as you do. And I'm looking out the window and I'm seeing things move. And we slowly realised that we were moving backwards because he forgot to put the handbrake on. He wasn't paying attention because he was on his phone. And then we're just moving back and I'm like, there's a car behind us. They just start shouting at each other.
Oh my God.
Then he gets back in and then he does a little swerve and then goes into another part of the traffic jam. Just like, what's happening? So we were obviously driving, I think, to Pune with your family, so your parents. And obviously you have your toll booths, like we do here. Stuck again in traffic again. Someone was refusing to pay because they work for the government.
Yes.
Which he wasn't allowed to just go through without paying. So they were like, no, you can't. So, and your mum's just like, that's it. She gets out of the car, she walks all the way to the front by the toll booth, and then she just goes to the window of the person and is like, excuse me, we've got young kids in the car, really young kids, i.e. us. Can you please move? They're getting really cranky and they're crying. And in the end he was like, fine. So he ended up paying the toll and just moved on.
She asked us to hide in the car because they would, if in case they look inside it, who the kids are. So we had to be like, we are not the kids.
Bro, we went to like a temple and things like that just to see what it was like. I can't remember, it was a really old one.
Yes.
But that was a really nice temple. And beside that was a little like historical sort of amusement place.
Rural Maharashtrian village, it looks like.
Yeah. So we went there, and obviously you pay more as a foreigner. So okay, whatever, that's fine. If it's worth it, that's fine. We go in there, and everything is written in Marathi. Walk around there, and it was actually quite nice. And having obviously your parents there to like speak to me about that life was really interesting. Yeah. But if I just went in as a foreigner, I wouldn't have been able to have read anything in there, even though I was paying more. And then your dad started arguing with the guy who took the payment. People losing their minds when I either eat with my hands or I have something with chili in it.
Yes.
And that happened on the first day I came to India, and I had misam. They were like, you want the non-spicy or spicy? And you had the non-spicy, your parents had the non-spicy, like normally, like it was a medium spice, really. And the guy was like, huh? How can you possibly eat that? Yeah, like literally, like, how can this be? And he was like absolutely astonished. I wouldn't get a stomachache in India anyway, I might as well get the spices in. But yeah, and eating with my hands, like, we eat things here with our hands, obviously.
I know, yeah.
Like fish and chips, basic.
Yeah.
Pick up a chip and eat the chip. Sandwiches.
Okay, well, that's it for today. Oh.
Okay.
All right.